Welcome to the Spiral Up podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Lachelle Weemy, a peak performance coach and business strategist dedicated to helping you see what's possible within you, the blind spots that are holding you back, and the solutions to ensure success and fulfillment without the hustle. I use my secret sauce of metaphysics, brain science, and scripture to work with God to manifest your ideal life and business. If you're ready to create massive forward momentum in your business and bust through the blocks that drag you down, join me on the Spiral Up journey and create the clarity, confidence, and consistency to become the CEO that lives your life by design. It's time to create the sustainable impact, income, and time freedom you desire faster. Now is the time to spiral up. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Spiral Up podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lachelle Weemy, and today we are going to talk about the abundance of time, and I am going to help you to shift your perspective around time. Now, we've been diving into some great time management hacks and tools for busy entrepreneurs, especially us mompreneurs who are torn in a billion different directions over the past few weeks. And we have a few more weeks left of this series before we wrap up our amazing conversations inside of the Maximize Your Time workshop that I'm going to be hosting on November 8th. So do not miss your chance to join me while I help you workshop out your time scarcity and help you to maximize and master your time. Now, here's the deal, you guys. It is so important that before I dive into the strategies and the logistics on how to manage that crazy out of control to-do list and calendar, I need to make sure that I'm helping you get to the root of the problem, and I'm helping you to grasp the mindset and the energy that it takes to be successful. Because all of us that are listening to the Spiral Up, the Spiral Up program, the Spiral Up podcast, all of the things that I have to do here are people who want to make a bigger impact in the world, who want to make a bigger income, who want to spend more time with their family. And oftentimes there are things that are holding us back from that. And those things allow us to spiral downward, and we miss out and get stagnant on that beautiful forward momentum in our business. And it keeps us from essentially creating that life by design. And so I want today to help to challenge the way that you look at and perceive time. Now, I am not going to diminish the power of a finite number. We all are given 24 hours in the day. And if we were not giving some parameters, it would be really easy for us to constantly just put off until tomorrow and to constantly, just procrastinate, to overthink, to allow perfectionism to get in the way. But when we allow for too much preoccupation with the scarcity of time, it can actually sabotage our success. And I'm going to get into how and why and what the heck you can do about it in this episode. All right, you guys. So the first thing I'm going to ask you is, have you ever caught yourself saying, I just don't have enough time for that? I just don't have enough time to get everything done. Has that been something that's come out of your mouth? And more importantly, has that been something that you've been thinking over and over in your head? Now, I'm going to ask you also, did you hear growing up your parents, people that were important to you, saying things like, I just don't have enough time, or I don't have all the time in the world? When we are brought up in those dialogues and we hear people that we know, like, and trust saying those things, we actually develop a belief system around time. And in fact, it can cause us to create a scarcity mindset around time. Now, just like an abundance versus scarcity mindset is important for money, it's also important for time, because if you do not manage it correctly, if you not see time in the manner that is the beautiful, abundant gift that God has given us, you will sabotage yourself. And what happens is when we have beliefs around certain things, specifically around a scarcity of things, our brain uses that as its definition for the way the world works, and most importantly, how we work in the world, how we fit in the world. And our brain, our subconscious, will always look for clues and evidence in the outside world to match that inside perspective. So if you feel like you have no time, that you don't have enough time, that there isn't enough time, you will literally find more evidence to prove that that's right. But I'm going to challenge you to think about time as this beautiful, abundant resource that you have in which you can create the life of your dreams. Now, you might be thinking, Lachelle, like, yeah, I don't really get like why this is important. So I'm going to tell you right now, two things. Number one, if you are worried about your to-do list before you even get out of the bed in the morning, you're like literally, the alarm clock goes off and you're like, oh my gosh, I have like all this to do. And you start to feel like this pressure on your chest. And you're like, I don't even know where to start. I don't even want to get up. Friends, that is going to impact the energy that you have. That is going to impact the way that you show up in the world. That is going to impact the way that you get things done or not. Like, how many of you have gotten to look at your to-do list and you're so overwhelmed by where to start that you don't start at all? How many of you have looked at your to-do list and gotten so overwhelmed by the things that are on that you start to overthink it? And then you start to allow perfectionism to get in the way, and then you never even start. How many of you have gotten into a meeting with somebody, a prospect, or a sales call, or a coaching call, or a conversation with somebody that wants to know about your business, and you have this icky urgency around you, this energy of lack and hurriedness and overwhelm? It is going to impact the way that you communicate with this other person. It's going to be perceived by that person, whether you say those words or not, just by the energy that you're showing up in. And it's going to sabotage the ability to get through to the person that you're communicating with. Friends, it is not what you do, it is who you are while you do it. So if you're showing up with this nervous, overwhelmed energy, it is going to impact what you do, what you say, and how you say it. Now, I'm going to tell you from a unfortunate real life experience in this was holding me back in my business. So I started my online entrepreneurship journey as a network marketer. And you guys, here's the deal. Once I learned about network marketing, it blew my mind. It allowed me to start seeing the world from the and perspective, meaning that I could actually create a life that allowed me to be challenged and fulfilled and full of joy, and to create a life with more time with my kids. You see, at the moment that this company was brought into my life, I was stuck. I was at my desk as a professor on days that I was teaching with papers stacked this high in front of my computer, completely overwhelmed by my to-do list, knowing that I was never going to get it all done in the day, knowing that my family was at home with my husband, who was a teacher, that had the whole summer off, in our pool while I was stuck. And I felt like the more that I climbed the ladder at work, the less time I got with my family, the more that I felt challenged and fulfilled and achieving the things, because I'm an achiever, inside of my professional life, it was the less I was able to spend time with my family. When I was opened up to the perspective of, oh my gosh, I could build an online business that could replace or exceed what I'm making here and spend more time with my family, I was all in. I was all in on the trainings. I was all in on the things, and it allowed me to grow my network marketing business to be, at the top 2% within a year of starting that company. Now, here's the deal. I caught the vision. I knew that it was possible. But then what happened? I grew too stinking fast. I remember the first month that I signed up 6 business partners that wanted to join me on this adventure. I was ecstatic. And then that ecstatic feeling quickly turned to complete and utter overwhelm and panic and fear. How in the heck was I going to onboard these people? How in the heck was I going to create everything that they need to be successful when I'm still trying to do all of my own things, while I'm still working full time, while I'm still trying to be a mom and a wife? How am I going to do that? And I completely panicked. Now, even though I had amazing friends and uplines and resources to help me get through that space, I became subconsciously afraid of success, because I was afraid that I would not be able to handle the success or the business partners or the business that was coming in. And I found myself holding back. I found myself sabotaging my own growth and the rate of that growth, because I did not feel like I was going to be able to handle it. And whether or not I admitted it or not, I found myself not talking to as many people. I found myself being okay if she doesn't want to sign up right now, because I just don't know if I have the time and the capacity to train her in. And my own growth, my own success was completely sabotaged, and a lid was placed on the level of my growth and the impact that I could make. Because friends, at the end of the day, I was doing this business not only to create the life of my dreams, but I wanted to help other people create the life of theirs. I wanted them to have the and life too. But I was allowing my own fears, my own insecurities, my own fear of scarcity to hold me back from sharing the gift that I had. Are you doing the same? Is your to-do list, is your overwhelm, is your fear of not being able to handle the success and the growth holding you back from doing the things that you know you can do, and holding you back from the growth and, more importantly, the impact that your business can make? If the answer is yes, then you are sabotaging your future right now because of a time scarcity mindset. Now, here's the deal. The other thing is that because I was caught up in I have to do all of the things, and I didn't know how to prioritize, and I didn't know how to lead from a place of love instead of out of a place of fear, I was saying yes to everything. And I was feeling this scarcity that if I didn't, answer this text this moment, or get this customer help right this exact moment, I was going to miss out. And guess what that led to, guys? That led to me being on my phone all the time. That led my husband to be super frustrated with me. He's like, Shell, put your phone down. Or I was trying to build my business alongside of my full-time career. And I was trying to lead my team, and I was trying to be a mom and a wife and a anesthetist and a professor and all the things. And then I would be like, all right, well, my non-negotiable is that I need to get my stuff out in stories every night before I go to bed. So I had my hour that I had each day with my husband, and here I was on my phone most of it. He's like, Lachelle, for real, can you get off your freaking phone? And it started to impact the relationship that we had. And I found myself resenting my phone. I found myself resenting my business. I found myself thinking, I don't have the balance. I did this business because I wanted more time with my family, and I am getting less. What the heck? I can't possibly try to recruit other busy, ambitious professional women who are also moms who want the and life, because I don't have the and life right now. And I found myself quietly and slowly pulling back, not talking about the business as much, not talking about the bigger picture, which I knew was possible. I just needed to get through the short-term sacrifice for the long-term gain, but I was starting to doubt it because I was stuck in the middle. I was stuck in the mud. I was stuck in the sacrifice season of my business. And I caught myself starting to doubt my belief that this is possible. And I started holding back and not talking to people about my business and about the and life and about what was possible. And my business stalled. I was sabotaging my growth. I was sabotaging the impact that my business could have on everybody else because I was stuck in time scarcity, friends. Since then, I've been able to discover the power of switching my mindset and switching my perspective. Now, I got to be honest with you, I have never been happier. I have, I think, 8 or 9 streams of income coming in right now. I am able to spend the time that I have. I'm actually on my way to go in and do a lunch date with 2 friends that I was invited to last minute this morning. And then I'm going to get to be a mom and a wife this afternoon when my kids and my husband get home. I've never had more on my plate, but I've never had more time freedom. And it's because I've shifted my perspective, and it is possible for you. Now, before I dive into the how, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the what, because I want you guys to understand a couple of things here. Number one, I want you to understand the difference between abundance and scarcity, because not only is this going to help with money, your money mindset when it comes to your business, but it is also going to impact your time mindset when it comes to your business. So what does the abundance mindset represent? Abundance really represents trust. It means that you trust that things are plentiful. It means that you trust that it's going to work out. It means you trust that you will have all of the time, the money, the resources, the people, the things that you need to get through today. And you're optimistic about it. You know that it's going to work out. It means that you are open to possibilities, and you're optimistic that good possibilities are on their way to you. It means that you are open and willing. It means that you are in a energy mindset in the higher levels of the vibrational emotion scale, where you are in love, joy, peace, gratitude, freedom. And that allows for you to then align energetically with solutions, with the people, with the business that is going to be the energetic match, the law of attraction. That energy in that same plane is going to resonate with you. When you are in an abundance of time mindset, you will then pop into ideas that, oh my gosh, that allows me to get so much more done in this little bit of time. Oh my gosh, that one idea allowed me to automate. That one person allowed me to know, oh my gosh, I could delegate that. Or, oh, I could meet somebody that is going to give me a 9-minute conversation instead of 9 years of trying to study it on YouTube. That's one of the reasons that I started my Viral Up program in the first place, is because I wanted my students to have access to freaking state-of-the-art, world-class experts that can give them 9-minute conversations that are going to change the trajectory of their business instead of 9 months or 9 years trying to study it on their own. Because I understand money and time scarcity. And I understand that when you vibrate at a higher frequency, you recognize that there are solutions out there that allow for you to find more efficient and effective ways of doing things. When you're in an abundance, you see the big picture, you understand the long-term vision, you know that there may be seasons of sacrifice, but you do it with a vision, with an optimistic knowing that good is on its way and that you are willing to choose to be in this space right now. Gratitude attracts more gratitude. So when you can be in abundance, you are grateful for the time that you do have, and you use it with intention because you want to have more time that you can be grateful for. And it allows you to be creative. You are going to come up with solutions and ideas that are going to take you light years ahead when you stay in this space. But friends, when you are in scarcity, you are going to feel like your resources are limited. It's going to feel restrictive. It's going to feel confining. It's going to prevent you from being into this optimistic state, because in scarcity, there is a win or a lose mentality instead of an and. And you feel like if you don't have it, then somebody else has it, or you need to get it and hoard it in order for it to not be somewhere else. And it keeps you in this restrictive, very small, very lower energetic vibrational plane. You end up focusing on the lack instead of what is possible, and you're going to miss out on what's possible because you're only focusing on what you don't have. You are going to get caught up in a FOMO, and it's going to lead to anxiety. And anxiety is going to keep you, again, in those lower vibrational planes and away from the ideas and the solutions and the people that can expedite time and expedite the impact that you have within that time. You also are more likely to get stuck in a resistance to change, and you are going to be less likely to accept new risks. And risks, friends, come with rewards. But if you are stuck into a scarcity, you're going to be less likely to take those risks that are going to take you the light years ahead, the quantum leaps ahead that you could have. And it's going to allow you to have this sense of hoarding because you're going to fear loss. You're not going to give of your time abundantly because you fear that you're going to have to not have it to share. And just like money, if you want more money, you have to give money away. If you want more time, friends, you have to give of your time. You have to not hold on so tight that your clenched fists are keeping you from being able to accept the time from someone else. And it is going to keep you in a stagnant space instead of a growth space. And so I want you to completely recognize that when you stay in a time scarcity mindset and not in a time abundance mindset, you are sabotaging your success because you are keeping yourself into that lower vibrational plane, away from your dream clients, away from your dream solutions, away from the things, the ideas, the opportunities that are going to take you to that next level. The other thing that happens is that when we are stuck in this scarcity mindset, we perceive ourselves as victims. And a victim mindset will keep you from abundance. It will keep you from growth. It will keep you from success because you're going to be wondering why you and poor me, and all you're going to focus on is what you don't have. But the moment, friend, the moment that you decide to choose your attitude is the moment that you gain your power back. So instead of feeling sorry for yourself, because, let's just be real. There are going to be times and seasons in your life where you don't have an abundance of time, or it's going to be really hard to perceive it that way, right? Like legit, I was working my full-time business or my full-time career alongside a very full-time business, alongside my family and a podcast and all the things for 6 years, friends, before I left my 20-year anesthesia full-time career. 6 years. I struggled bust with time scarcity. I get it. But I also chose that season because I saw the big vision. I knew that the abundance of time, money, resources, and impact was on its way to me. And each day when I looked at my to-do list, I was choosing that life, and I was choosing the things that I could do. I also want you to start to recognize that God is capable of miracles, and God can bend time. Friends, I have done a few extra little things on my to-do list because I wanted to get them done, and I wanted to still spend the time with the Lord before I left for work back when I was still doing my full-time career. And I don't know how, but I got to work early instead of late, and I should have been late because God has bent time for me so that I could have that time with Him. He can create things. He can create solutions out of nothing. So trust Him in every season. I want you to start noticing your own dialogue. I want you to start noticing when you're saying, I don't have time. I don't have enough time. I'm overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. I have too much to do. Start to recognize it, because you will find those things are showing up in your life because that's what your brain is going to focus on. So instead, perhaps add an affirmation to your day saying, I have all the time, resources, and energy to do everything I'm meant to do today. And then ask God in the morning, which is what I do in my prayer time, Lord, please help me with my to-do list. I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed today. Lord, please help me to know what it is that you need me to do today. And what do you need me to delete, delegate, or just postpone for tomorrow? Because He has given us 24 hours. And when I allow for Him to direct my steps, He will make me fruitful in that 24 hours. And I will be more fruitful in the 3 things that He asks me to do than in the 1,000 that I would have done on my own. Recognize abundance, friends. Recognize the fact that your scarcity and the thoughts and perceptions that you have around time are impacting the way that you're showing up. And remember, at the end of the day, it is not what you do, it's who you are while you do it. So I can teach you all of the time management skills in the world, but if you do not start looking at time as an abundant resource, you will not grasp everything that I can teach you. Now, if you want to learn how to manage your time better, you want to join me on my in-person Zoom workshop on November 8th, make sure that you check out the link in the show notes. If you are fearful that you're not going to be able to be there in person, don't stress. I will have replays available. I also want to make sure to invite you guys to just continue to check out ways that you are looking for things that validate that scarcity. And I want you to choose an abundant affirmations that could help you. Now, if you want more tools on how to create abundant affirmations, you can check out my website, iam-lifebydesign.com/tools. And I have 2 amazing tools in there. One of them is a time audit. The other one is a feature that allows you to send energy to yourself that is in the abundance and in the productive space. If you want to know more about that, check out my website. All right, you guys, I will see you very soon. Let's continue to spiral up. So much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. Each honest review helps me spiral up so that I can serve you even better. Whether you're feeling a lack of impact, income, or time freedom, or perhaps you're just ready for massive momentum in your business, let's chat. Apply for a breakthrough call so that you can gain clarity, identify what's holding you back, and make a plan to spiral up. Head on over to iam-lifebydesign.com/breakthrough or access the link in the show notes. For immediate support, log into our community, the Better Club. We focus on inspiration, tactical guidance, and support. This is a community that wants to be better, do better, and have better in life and in business, and we're going to help you do the same. Let's spiral up, friends.